Brakata Yahweh, Brakata Yahweh Shah, Brakata Yahweh, Brakata Yahweh Shah, Brakata Yahweh, Brakata Yahweh Shah, Call Halal Yahweh, Bashem Yahweh Shah, Bashem, Raha Kadash. Double honors to our elders and apostles of Great Millstone. Peace and salutation to the hopeful elect scattered across the four winds. And double honors to the men that taught our elders and apostles. This is your brother Yakar Aben from Great Millstone, Houston, back with another lesson. In this lesson, we're going to get into, hell, basically the hell doctrine. You know, we here at Great Millstone, we understand that there is no hell. Well, no hell where you burn for all eternity. This is not something that is, it's not biblical. It's not biblical at all. But yet, the Christianity has taught our people that a bunch of lies. Just a bunch of lies. You know, we've learned that Satan is basically against the Heavenly Father, but yet all you Christians understand that the all you Christians understand you don't understand the Lord's Prayer. The Lord's Prayer. Uh, let's get it. I mean, it's but that goes into Satan being cast out of heaven. This is wait a minute. Oh, Slovakia. Luke. Okay, this is Luke chapter 11, starting at starting at verse 1. This is Luke 11 and 1. It says, "And it came to pass that as he was praying in a certain place, when he ceased, one of his disciples said unto him, Lord, teach us to pray, as John also taught his disciples. And he said unto them, When ye pray, say, Our Father, which art in heaven, hallowed be thy name, thy kingdom come, thy will be done, as in heaven, so in earth." So this right here should explain to you that Satan did not rebel against the Heavenly Father. It says, "Thy will be done, as in heaven, as in so in earth." So the will of the Heavenly Father is done totally in the heavens. So there is no rebellion in the heavens. There is no rebellion in the heavens. Satan was not cast out of Satan was not cast out of heaven. You know, if where, when, because as it states in Job chapter 2, let's get that. I'm going a little off track, but wherever the Spirit takes me. Job chapter 2, it says, this is Job chapter 2 and verse 1. It says, "And again, there was a day when the sons of the Most High came to present themselves before Yahweh by Shem Yahweh Shah, and Satan came also among them to present themselves before Yahweh." So if Satan was kicked out of heaven, then how is it that he's, there with his brothers in the presence of the Lord? But, I guess, hey, they say a lot of things that they can't explain, especially when you go into the scriptures. I guess that's essentially, when I was growing up, they said, where do you hide something from a black person? Us knowing that you Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans are the Hebrew Israelites, but where do you hide something from a Hebrew Israelite? You put it in a book, you know. But this devil, he this devil will make it illegal for you to read for hundreds of years and then make fun of you because you can or you don't want to. I mean, this we're not going to go into that. But anyway, this is Job chapter 3 and verse 11. He says, "Why died I not from the womb? Why did I not give up the ghost when I came out of the belly? Why did the knees prevent me, or why the breast that I should suck?" It says, "For now should I have lain still and been quiet. I should have slept, then had I been at rest." So, why should I have not slept? If you go to sleep, then what happens? At some point you wake up. But it says, "With kings and counselors of the earth, which built desolate places for themselves, or with princes that had gold, who filled their houses with silver, or as a hidden untimely birth, I had not been as infants which never saw light. There," meaning death, there being dead, sleeping with your fathers, you know, like it says, slept, being at rest. It says, "There the wicked cease from troubling, and there the weary be at rest." It says, "There the prisoners rest together. There the prisoners rest together. They hear not the voice of the oppressor. The small and the great are there. The servant is free from his master. Wherefore a light is given unto him that is in misery, and life unto the bitter in soul." So when we die, we all go to the same place. You know, there's not a place where we're tormented in fire and brimstone, or whatever, where Satan, who was kicked out of heaven, which wasn't actually kicked out of heaven, where he's in control. That is not the case. That's not the case. All people go to the same place. And let's get that. That's not it. Yeah, this is Ecclesiastes chapter 3 and verse 20 to back that up. It says, "All go unto one place. All are of the dust and turn to the dust. Who knoweth the spirit of man that goeth upward, and the spirit of beast that goeth downward to the earth?" So, the spirit of man goeth upward, and the spirit of beast goeth downward. You know, where is it? We got Slovakia. Hold on. Let me find this in Ecclesiastes. I thought I had it pulled up. Hmm. Hmm. There it is. This is Ecclesiastes chapter 12 and verse 7. It says, "Then shall the dust return to the earth as it was, and the spirit shall return unto the Most High who gave it." So, when we die, we all go to the same place. The spirit goes to the Most High who gave it, and there we receive our judgment. You know, it's not a thing of you go to hell and you're burned for all eternity. You know, we go to the Heavenly Father where we receive our judgment. This is oh, Ecclesiastes. Oh shoot. Let's get that Sirach 14. Oh man, I didn't pull up none. I thought I had pulled up these different scriptures. This is, Second Esdras 14 and 34. This is Second Esdras 14 34. This is Second Esdras chapter 14 and verse 34. It says, "Therefore, if so be that ye will subdue your own understanding and reform your hearts, ye shall be kept alive, and after death ye shall obtain mercy. For after death shall the judgment come, when we shall live again, and then shall the names of the righteous be manifest, and the works of the ungodly shall be declared." So after death, we receive judgment. And to back that up, this is Ecclesiastes chapter 3 and verse 15. It says, "That which hath been is now, and that which is to be hath already been, and the Most High require that which is past. Moreover, I saw under the sun the place of judgment, that wickedness was there, and the place of righteousness, that iniquity was there." So, the Lord requireth that which is past, and that's what it says. After death shall the okay, let's get it again. "Therefore, if so be that ye will subdue your own understanding and reform your hearts, ye shall be kept alive, and after death ye shall obtain mercy. For after death shall the judgment come." Okay, so when you die, you're going to receive judgment for the things that you have done. "When ye shall live again, when you live again, then shall the names of the righteous be manifest, and the works of the ungodly be declared." And that's what it says. That which have been, meaning man, is now, and that which is to be hath already been, meaning man. And the Most High requireth that which is past. "And moreover, I saw under the sun the place of judgment, that wickedness was there, and the place of righteousness, that iniquity was there." So under the sun is where you play out your judgment. When you die, you're judged. After death, you receive your judgment. And then you come to the earth, you come under the sun to serve out that judgment. "Moreover, I saw under the sun the place of judgment." But, we can get other scriptures that back that up, but that explains it. I mean, there is no hell. Although, hell being the grave, if you have the correct understanding. Let's get okay. Let's go 1 Samuel. This is 1 Samuel chapter 28. It says, "And Saul disguised himself and put on other raiment, and he went, and 2 men with him, and they came to a woman by night, and he said, I pray thee, divine unto me by the familiar spirit, and bring me him up, that I shall name unto thee." So Saul went to an individual that had a familiar spirit. So we're going to go back into the law, and this is what is said about that. This is Leviticus chapter 20 and verse 6. It says, "And the soul that turneth after such as have a familiar spirit, and after wizards, to go a whoring after them, I will even set my face against that soul, and will cut him off from among his people." So this is a practice that Saul was forbidden to do. Saul was forbidden to do these things. And this is 1 Samuel chapter 28 and verse 9. It says, "And the woman said unto him, Behold, thou knowest that Saul, what Saul hath done, how he hath cut off those that have familiar spirits and the wizards out of the land. Therefore, when thou Therefore, then layest thou a snare for my life to cause me to die. So the woman was saying, you know that Saul has put all the wizards and those that have familiar spirits to death, because again that's in the law. But Saul went to this woman, to inquire of the law. But here it is. This is Leviticus chapter 20 and verse 27. It says, a man also or woman that have a familiar spirit or that is a wizard shall surely be put to death. They shall stone them with stones. Their blood shall be upon them. So, okay, yeah, this goes into, okay, one of the commandments is thou shalt not kill, but that actually means thou shalt not murder. So when you do a sin unto death, then you know you're supposed to be put to death, and that's not a killing. I mean, well, that's not murdering a person. Yes, you're killing them, but you're killing them with cause. So murdering them is killing somebody without a cause for no reason whatsoever. So, but yeah, so a person that has a familiar spirit or a wizard, a wizard or a witch, or lack of a better term, in Israel, we're supposed to kill them. We're supposed to put them to death. But Saul was putting them to death, but then he turned away from that because he wanted to use them, right? And as it stated, a person that goes to a person with a familiar spirit, their soul is going to be cut off. So, but we're going to show you what happens. It says, and Saul disguised himself and put upon other raiment and went, and two men with him. And they came to the woman by night. And he said, I pray thee, divine unto me a familiar spirit, and bring him up, whom I shall name unto thee. And the woman said unto him, behold, thou knowest what Saul hath done, how he hath cut off those that have familiar spirits, and the wizards out of the land. Wherefore then layest thou a snare for my life to cause me to die? And Saul swore to her by Yahweh, saying, as Yahweh liveth, there shall no punishment happen to thee for this thing. Then said the woman, whom shall I bring up unto thee? And he said, bring me up Samuel. And when the woman saw Samuel, she cried with a loud voice. And the woman spake to Saul, saying, why hast thou deceived me? For thou art Saul. And the king said unto her, be not afraid, for what sawest thou? And the woman said unto Saul, I saw gods ascending out of the earth. And he said unto her, what form is he of? And she said, an old man cometh up, and he is covered with a mantle. And Saul perceived that it was Samuel, and he stooped with his face to the ground and bowed himself. And Samuel said to Saul, why hast thou disquieted me to bring me up? And Saul answered, I am sore displeased, for the Philistines make war against me, and the Most High is departed from me, and answereth me no more, neither by prophets, nor by dreams. Therefore I have called thee, that thou mayest make known unto me what I shall do. Then said Samuel, wherefore then dost thou ask of me, seeing that Yahweh is departed from thee, and is become thine enemy? And the Lord Yahweh Bashem Yahushua hath done to him as he spake by me. For the Lord Yahweh hath rent the kingdom out of thine hand, and given it to thy neighbor, even David. It says, because thou obeyedest not the voice of Yahweh, nor executed his fierce wrath upon Amalek, therefore hath the Lord Yahweh done these things unto thee this day. Moreover, Yahweh will also deliver Israel with thee into the hand of the Philistines, and tomorrow shalt thou and thy sons be with me. The Lord Yahweh also shall deliver the host of Israel into the hand of the Philistines. So Saul, which went and got a witch, went which in the law, Salakia, where was it? Oh man, I closed it. Was that Leviticus 20? Which was it? Leviticus 20 and 6. It says, "And the soul that turneth after such as have a familiar spirit, and after wizards to go a whoring after them, I will set I will set my face against that soul and will cut him off from among his people." Okay, so this is what Saul did, but yet the Lord told Samuel to tell him that he was going to be with him the next day. So that in itself shows you that, you know, everybody goes to the same place. Samuel, being a prophet of the Lord, was in the spirit world, and Saul was going to be, and his sons were going to be in the same place with Samuel the next day. But yet, after this, you know, that's why, you know, these there's different sayings within the scriptures to let you know. First Corinthians chapter 14 and verse 32, it says the spirit of the prophets are subject to the prophets. So, you know, the thing that has been is now, and the thing that is to be is already been. So, you know, there is no hell, yet there is reincarnation. You know, you can't have a hell doctrine where people burn for all eternity, and yet, you know, the spirit of the prophets be subject unto the prophets. You know, the it just doesn't work. You know, because Yahweh Shah was in hell. Yahweh Shah was in hell. So if you know, how can you explain that? Being hell being the grave. We're gonna read this and then we'll close it out. This is Acts chapter 2 and verse 25. It says, "For David speaketh concerning him, I foresaw the Lord, Yahushua, always before my face. For he for he is on my right hand, that I should not be moved. Therefore did my heart rejoice, and my tongue was glad. Moreover also my flesh shall rest in hope." It says, "Because thou wilt not leave my soul in hell, because thou wilt not leave my soul in hell, neither wilt thou suffer thine Holy One to see corruption." It says, "Thou hast made known to me the ways of life. Thou shalt make me full of joy with thy countenance. Men and brethren, let me freely speak unto you of the patriarch David, that he is both dead and buried, and his sepulchre is with us unto this day. Therefore, being a prophet, and knowing that the Most High had sown with an oath to him that the fruit of his loins, according to the flesh, he would raise up Hamashiach, or the anointed, to sit on his throne. He, seeing this before, spake of the resurrection of the anointed, that his soul will not that his soul was not left in hell, neither his flesh did see corruption." So that's saying that the anointed soul was in hell, but he wouldn't leave his soul in hell. He's saying, he's seeing this before, spake of the resurrection of Hamashiach, that his soul was not left in hell, neither his flesh did see corruption. Hell being the grave. You know, his soul was not left in the grave, in the ground, neither his flesh to see corruption. For Yahweh hath the Most High raised up, whereof we are all witness. So The Lord did not leave his soul in hell, leave his soul in the ground. Yeah. So hell is not a place where you burn for all eternity. It's essentially hell is the ground. Like if you want to plant an apple tree, guess what? You put the seed in hell, the ground, the grave, the ground, however you want to put it. That's the best way to explain that. Hell is not a place where you burn for all eternity. This is a G86, and right there, the biblical outline biblical outline usage. Number 3, later use of this word, the grave, death, hell. So yes, you put a seed in hell if you want it to grow, because what happens? The seed is dead, and then you put it in the ground or you put it in hell, and then guess what? It germinates and it starts to grow. Simple as that. But I had one more example. Oh, yeah, here we go. This is Job chapter 19 and verse 25. It says, "For I know that my Redeemer liveth, and that he shall stand at the latter day upon the earth. And though after my skin worms destroy this body, yet in my flesh shall I see the Most High, whom I will see for myself, and mine eyes shall behold, and not another, though my reins be consumed within me." So, how is it that throw and though after my skin worms destroy this body, yet in my flesh shall I see the Most High? It's easy, easy, easy. It's like I'm out here messing with these animals. Ecclesiastes chapter 3 and verse 15. "That which hath been is now, and that which is to be hath already been, and the Most High requireth that which is past." So the thing that have been is now, and the thing that will be have already been. That's how that happens. That's how that works. What was that? Slock, yeah. Yeah, that is how that works. What was it? Yeah, Job 19. "And though after my skin worms destroy this body, yet in my flesh shall I see the Most High." So, with that being said, I'd like to give all praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashem, Raha Hadash. Double honors to our elders and apostles, a great millstone. Peace and salutations to the hopeful elect scattered across the four winds. Hopefully, this lesson has been edifying to the hopeful elect. Shalom. Kwam Yasha Allah.